Hey guys, Sometimes Crazy here, back with Krunker Science Season 2, Episode 2. Just before I get started on any of this, my mic will sound different. As I did an announcement in my Discord, essentially my microphone on my headset cuts out after about 20 seconds, if that, of recording. Or just of use in general, and so I recorded this whole video audio trying and just hoping it would work, and then came back to barely 10 seconds had been recorded, so it wasn't even salvageable really. So I've just had to gonna have to re-record it on this, so apologies if the quality isn't what it was like before. When I get paid in a few days, I'm going to be buying myself a new microphone, probably from Amazon, so I can get it shipped quickly. So hopefully in my next video that I do on Krunker or using my microphone, the quality will be better. But as I say, welcome back to Krunker Science Season 2, Episode 2. In this episode, I'm going to be finding out how fast Krunker Guy goes when he slides. Yep, that's it. This is the request I get time and time again about the speed of Krunker Guy. And truth be told, I've actually been working on this video behind the scenes for quite a while. Unfortunately, whenever I came to upload it, a new video became priority, and so it always kind of fell on the back burner. But here you go, after sitting on these equations for almost 3 months, here is the way to work out the speed of Krunker Guy. So you guys can do this yourself if you follow along these steps. Don't worry about following them on initially. At the end of this video, I will be telling you as a recap sort of how to do it step by step, because when I explain it now, it's going to have lots of like science and maths sort of intertwined. I don't really want you guys to have to go through and sort of work it out from this, so there'll be a video and sort of showing you how to do it at the end of this. So when you load up the map I'm going to tell you about, it's called Real Speed Test. You're going to spawn in a big room, and there's going to be a corridor in front of you, and there's going to be a floating red bar to the right of that corridor that has a red square next to it and a green button on the wall. If you stand under that red bar, points will begin building. After 10 seconds you'll be teleported, and once you've been teleported, note down the exact amount of points you received and melee the green button to reset your points to 0. Next, build up your maximum slide speed in the room, and once you're at top speed, or at least the speed that you're happy with, that you think is fast enough, start to slide down the hallway. Obviously don't stop and then slide, because that would just kill your speed. I'm talking about continuing your slide down there. So lots of points will begin to appear on your screen again, and that's normal. At a certain point again, you'll be teleported, and make note of the actual amount of points you scored from this, as the scoreboard will round them up. So you're going to be teleported, points will stop building, and take note of them points you got. Obviously, due to FPS fluctuations, no 2 point amounts will ever be the same. If you do this again, even if it's straight afterwards, after you refresh the map, because it's a one-time use, you have to rehost the map to do it, it's never going to be the same. But how does this help you work out what speed you were going? Well, after many tests, I came to the conclusion that the scoring system that I used awards a different user every single time, different amount of points, and this is just depending on their FPS. So remember the points you received before, the first lot that I told you to note down and reset? Well, they're the amount of points that you received in 10 seconds, obviously. So if you divide them points by 10, you get your points per second. So if we divide the points you received during the sliding section by the points that you just worked out, the points per second you just worked out, we get the exact time you took to complete the course. This is because if you look at your points you received when you were sliding, let's just use this simply. Let's say it was 1,000 points and you got 100 points in 10 seconds. That means that every 1 second you get 10 points. 1,000 divided by 10 is 100, because it took you 100 seconds, because every 1 second you got 10 points. If that makes sense to you guys. But what was the corridor, or the course? What actually was that? Well, that was a 5,000 pixel hallway. Because it's a fixed distance, we can actually use this to determine the overall speed of any user every single time they go down it. The hallway is 5,000 pixels for a reason, and that's because it equals 1,500 feet exactly. You might be wondering how I got that number, and that's taken from my second episode of Krunker Science Season 1, where I used the original patents files of weapons in the game compared to their real-life counterparts, and then use sizes on them patents to compare against pixels in Krunker and determine how tall 1 pixel is, basically. I came to the conclusion rather accurately that 1 pixel is 0.3 feet. So if we times 0.3 feet by 1,000, that's 300. So 1,000 pixels is 300 feet. Obviously we need to times that number by 5 because it was 5,000 pixels, and 300 times 5 is 1,500. Thus, 5,000 pixels is 1,500 feet. Simple science shows us that in order to work out speed, you need both distance and time. Both metrics we actually have now. For example, I was taught that speed equals distance over time. And so 1,500 feet is the distance, and the seconds taken in this scenario is the time. I did a test run at 60 frames per second, but using the non-FPS based sliding option enabled on browser. This was fluctuating anywhere from 58 to 60 FPS at any given moment. At the end of that, I received 1,579 points by sliding, and a really nice round 600 points in the 10-second PPS calculator. Obviously, PPS meaning points per second. This translates to 60 points per second, obviously dividing it by 10. So I'm going to take this to the chalkboard now and work out the speed that I know. So the distance, again, 1,500 feet. The time, 1,579 divided by 60, as I explained before, which is 26.31 seconds. So now I do 1,500 divided by 26.31 to get my speed. As far as I know, this is the first speed ever calculated in Krunker compared to real life. That's 57.01 feet per second, or 38.87 miles per hour. A more accurate way, by the way, to work this out is to use a formula I devised, which I'm going to be using for the rest of the video. That's 1,500 divided by, open brackets, points divided by PPS, close brackets. Using this just eliminates rounding. So, for example, obviously I was doing that in my head and stuff before, so I rounded it to 2 decimal places, and I got 57.01 feet per second. Yet, when I used the formula and didn't round, I actually got a result that changed by almost 0.05, which might not sound it might not sound like a lot, but it is quite a big difference in terms of speed. So the actual result I should have got is actually ever so slightly slower at 56.998 feet per second. This, of course, is only an estimate, as it doesn't take into account losses and gains in speed. This is just an estimated calculation of the top speed you experienced while sliding down that corridor. And I know that people assume Krunker Guy goes super crazy fast, you know, and this result might disappoint you. But don't leave yet, don't go, because you see, this is a person travelling almost 40 miles per hour on foot, which in itself is extremely fast. But as I said, this was performed at 60 FPS, which kept fluctuating. When you travel, when you have more FPS and you slide, you obviously go faster. So I did a test at about 180 FPS on client, and also asked some friends in the community to do one as well and send me their results that I was going to work out. This showed something that I wasn't quite expecting. So going off script here, I mean, I've not even written this down, I just think you guys deserve to know this. I assumed when I did this, because I did this personally on client with about 180 FPS, and on browser with 60 FPS, and I was surprised to see that on client I got a lot, well not a lot, I got a bit slower. I actually got only 55.798 feet per second, or exactly 38 miles per hour. That's slower than the 60 FPS, and I assumed that this is because, you know, Krunker has some sort of like drop off point where it just caps everyone's speed. No, it's just because my computer doesn't really have a good way to enable VSync. So that's the way that's the way I've heard that the non-sliding FPS works. So it emulates 1,000 FPS when you've got non-FPS based sliding enabled. On browser, as I said, I did have that enabled, and so it tried to emulate that much FPS, but it can only really emulate a very similar amount to what I receive on browser, because that's about the maximum FPS that I get. So really, they should really be the same. I was a bit disheartened at this point. So I did send a request to Koala. I said, look, he's a streamer, by the way, I'll link his thing in the description. I said, look, I've got this test, can you do it? I'll give you the speed that you'll be going in Krunker, you know, in real life, whatever. In my head, I was actually pretty doubtful that it would work. And then he sent back just a staggering result. he said that he got, well, he sent me a video of him getting 632.4 points per second, and then 4,088 points on the corridor. And I plugged that into the equation, 1,500 divided by, open brackets, 4,088 divided by 632.4, close brackets. And then I was kind of shocked, because he got a whopping 232.04 feet per second, which is 158.2 miles per hour. That's 0.2 miles per hour faster than the fastest recorded person on snow. They were on skis, on like special like super aerodynamic-y ski things on, well, skis, on like a specially designed ski run to get the most, like the least air resistance. And here's just someone sliding with LMG going, oh look, I'm going faster than you. Which is why I went back and looked and checked and realised that that's the reason, because the V-Sync and the that's why my results were so similar. So, knowing now that it did actually work, I then sent it to a couple more people who did it as well. So first of all, I sent it to Miles, or Mile Roblox Fan, whatever it goes by. I don't actually know. It's probably not very good. He got 374.7 points per second and a score of 3,764. And using the formula we know, I calculated that he travelled at a hair-raising speed of 149.32 feet per second, or 101.81 miles per hour. And then next we have the mod maker, Canuspy, I don't know how to say it. He's a regular viewer of the channel. He comments quite often. He's a cool guy. He's made some absolutely phenomenal mods. So I'm going to link his Krunker profile in the description below. If you guys go on that, you can see the mods that he's played. Give him a check out, give his mods a like. And yeah, they are genuinely really, really good. He finished, so he got 299.5 points per second, and then he finished the corridor with a score of 5,768, giving him a speed of 79.12 feet per second, which again is equal to 53.94 miles per hour. That's faster than some roads in England that are, speed limit 50 miles per hour. Here comes Gunnar, here he comes, straight past it. He's getting picked up by the police. So you can try this for yourself. Go try it for yourself. As I said, I'm just about to tell you, in a more concise manner, how to do this, so you don't have to sort of work it all out from before. So what you're going to want to do is load up my map real speed test. Once it's loaded, go and stand under this bar. After 10 seconds, you're going to be teleported, and take note of the score that you got and hit the green button to reset your score. Now, pick up speed by sliding around the room, and when you're happy with your speed, go and slide down the corridor. And after you travel 5,000 pixels, you'll be teleported, and depending on FPS, this can take upwards of about 40 seconds. Once teleported, take note of the second score you've got, and now divide the first score by 10, and put them into the equation that I'm going to show you here. Use Google to search this equation, and it will solve it for you, giving you the feet per second that you travelled. You can then convert the feet per second to miles per hour via Google, and there, you've got your miles per hour. And that's about it. But if you do this, comment down below what you got. I'd be super interested to see what speeds you guys got, because this is just a really interesting formula that anyone can do feasibly, and it's the first. I got messages from I think about 5 different YouTubers asking me whether I've made a video about this, if I could make a video about this, and if they could make a video about this. And my response was usually, I've got the formulas, I've just not made the video yet. If you could hold off making a video, that would be great. If not, I'm not your mum. Go do it, I guess. But it'd be great if you didn't, because I've been working on this for quite a while, and it's my most requested thing, just out of courtesy. They were obviously all courteous and said, no, that's fine. You're Mr. Science Man. That's fine. We'll leave it to you. And yeah, just finally got this working, and it's just super interesting to see this sort of thing that people have been wanting to know for a while can now be worked out by anyone using this. Again, just finishing off the video now. Nothing about Krunker. So if you want to go, it's fine. Just a couple of channel updates. Sorry about not uploading last week. I was busy with my family on both my scripting and my editing days, so I only had my upload days, so I had nothing to upload. So I didn't manage to make a video. Also, the secret project, I'm waiting on only one more package Fingers crossed it's going to arrive soon if DHL don't fuck up, because it's via DHL. I'm so excited for this video. Yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the most requested video by far for me to make. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.